let's finish up this list item and add the rest of them. I'm going to add a caption just below this image using the paragraph element. So I'm going to open up a paragraph, and I'm going to say experimentation with color and texture to describe this image. Now, like I said, we're going to resize these images later on, but we'd still like site visitors to be able to click and see the full-size image. Let's add a link around this image and caption to the full-size image, and we can do that like this. So just inside of our list item and just before our image, I'm going to add an anchor element with the hyperlink reference image/numbers-01.jpg. You'll notice that this is the exact same file path as the source for our image. That's because in this case, we're linking to the image directly. Now we need to put our closing anchor just after our paragraph. And then finally, we need to indent these two lines. Now, up until this point, we've been indenting lines one at a time. But if you need to indent multiple lines, there's actually a shortcut key just for that. We can highlight the lines that we want to indent, and then if you're on a Mac, press Command and then square bracket. And if you're on Windows, you can press Control and square bracket. Now, of course, there are two square brackets, so depending on which one you press, will determine which way the text is indented. So on my Mac, by pressing Command and right square bracket or closing square bracket, it will indent the text. That's very handy if you need to indent lots of lines. Now, that's all the markup that we'll need for each item in our image gallery. Now, we just need to copy and paste this several times to add the rest of our images. Once we've copied and pasted each one, we'll modify each one so that it links to a new image. So let's do that now. First, I'm going to highlight this entire list item, being careful not to highlight any other code that I won't need. And on my Mac, I'm going to press Command-C. And if you're on Windows, you can hit Control-C to copy it to your clipboard. And I need this 4 times for a total of 5. So I'm going to hit Enter a bunch of times just to make some space to work so you can clearly see what's going on. And then I'm going to paste the contents of my clipboard by hitting Command-V. If you're on Windows, you can hit Control-V. So I'm going to paste it once, and you'll notice that I've actually copied some indentation here. So let's see if I can recopy that and then paste it again so that it only copies the code and not the extra indentation. I need to copy it 3, 4, and a total of 5. So we actually just copied that 4 times for a total of 5 list items. I'm going to delete this extra space because we won't need it. And now we're ready to modify each list item. So if we open our images folder, you'll notice that these are non-sequential. We go from 1, 2, and then skip to 6, 9, and 12. However, that's completely intentional. When you're making a portfolio, it's always best to edit it and only leave in your best work. So there are other things that I've created here, but these are the ones that I want to show. So we need to modify each list item. So we'll modify the href, and we'll also modify the source so that they match. So there's the second image. The third image is going to be 6 in this case. The fourth image will be 9, And then our final image will say 12. Next, we need to change each one of our captions. Otherwise, they'll all be the same, which is pretty boring and inaccurate. So our second image, I'll say playing with blending modes in Photoshop. And of course, you'll want to type descriptions that match your own images. My second image, I'll say trying to create an 80s style of glows. In my next image, I'll say drips created using Photoshop brushes. And then finally, my last caption will say creating shapes using repetition. Let's go ahead and save this. And then we'll open up our preview and refresh the page. And if we scroll down, you'll now see that all of our images are present. And below them, there's also a caption for each image. Now, if I go ahead and click on any one of these images, it will show me the link to the image, or the actual image itself, I should say, in a new page. If I click the back button, I can go back to the website that I'm creating. We're just about finished with the structure, but there's a few more things that we need to do to wrap this up.